So I had about 10K in my account. I added another 15K, and I was ready to rock. Actually, no, that's not even true. I couldn't even add that much. I had 17K total. So maybe I had like 7K in my account and I was able to add 10. Whatever the case may be, we had 17,000 to fire with. So a little less than 2 buy-ins. Fired it up, ran really good early. I mean, really good. And the guy that the game was built around, his name is JS Carney. Don't know anything about him. Don't know where he came from. Don't know what his deal is. But he's a really fun guy to play with. But he fucks with us, man. So he starts this game of 50-100. Well, first I think it started at 25-50, but I might have missed it. But anyway, a 50-100 game breaks out. I sit. We're playing for like 30 minutes or so, and I'm already up a buy-in. So I already turned my 10 into 20. I'm fucking pumped. This is good because at least we have some breathing room, And then he just sits out. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Like, why would he sit out and not just quit? So I start like just browsing the lobby to see what's going on. Maybe sometimes he does this and he'll jump up to higher stakes. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm ready to fire 1-2, but like, let's go. And I look, and he started another game of 50-100. So literally, there's only 6 people on the entire site who are playing these stakes anyway. So the entire table just migrates over to this new table, right? And at this new table, he runs up a pile. And again, I double up. So I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? So now I have 20K, or I'm up 20K, right? I'm up like 22 almost. And then he just sits out again. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's done. And he goes back to the other table and starts playing. Well, now I go back to the other table. Like I try to open them both at the same time so I can just stop doing this dance and ensure that I am just seated at both tables at all times. But I can't because of the rat holing policy. So I need to have 20,000 in front of me no matter which table I'm on, and my account has less. Or I guess that's not true. I guess I had like 24,000 on one table, and I needed to take back like 21 to the other, and I just didn't have enough. So I'm like, fuck, this is unbearable. So I quit this game. I go back. We play for a little while longer, and then he sits out again. I'm like, all right, I mean, is he just going to keep doing this all night? Why is he fucking with us? I don't get it. And then I look, and he is sitting at 100, 200 now. And I'm like, okay. Let's do it. We're up 22K. Let's turn this into a 100K night. Let's fucking go. So I get up there, and the game is just different. I can't really explain it, but I think a lot of people are like me, where we just don't have hundreds of thousands sitting on the site. And to play 100, 200 with a 20K minimum buy-in, or 20K maximum buy-in, I guess. You don't want to just have 1 or 2 bullets. But it seemed pretty clear that like nobody had more than like 2 or 3 shells available to them. So the game just like tightened up so much. And I was just in like all these weird spots where it's like I have hands that are probably strong enough to take the next aggressive action in a general dynamic where ranges are loose. But everybody's playing so tight. Literally, there's a 0 3-bet percentage going on. There's like literally it's folding to the button or the small blind almost every single hand. And when it doesn't, you expect to just see top of range. So I'm just like, I'm kind of like, what are we doing? Like, we're playing fucking nosebleeds, but we're playing like it's a game of bingo where everybody's just like waiting to get lucky. So obviously I just like don't run all that hot there. A couple of my 3-bets don't get through. Of course, I'm just running in the top of range. Like I'm 3-betting 9-8 suited like an asshole and they just have kings. I tried to run a bluff with king queen in a spot where I flatted small versus a cutoff open. Again, there was like a 0 3-bet percentage, and I definitely wasn't ever going to 3-bet from the small blind because my man JSC was in the big. So like I always want him involved in the pot. So I was literally going to be 3-betting 0. Anyway, I flat with king queen, and it comes like 9-6-3 rainbow, something like that. Checks through. Turn is another 9 or another 6, I can't recall. And I bet 2/3 pot. Original razor calls, river bricks, and I think backdoor diamonds might have missed. And I bet 3/4 pot, and he just snap calls me with ace 10 high. It's like, fuck, this is miserable. So I end up losing. I end up just like bleeding all my profits away there. I'm up like, I don't know, 1,500 at this point. and then we get bumped back to 50 100. Like he just quits this game and goes back to 50 100. Like, okay, like at least this is good. We have 2 buy-ins for 50 100. Whoops. Sorry about that. So at least like at that point we would have 2 buy-ins for 50 100. So I go back down there, I play, and I start winning again. I win like 6,000. It's like, okay, this is great. And we just doubled. Let's go, baby. So it's like, okay, I just picked up all this profit again. Now I'm up like 6,500 again. We have, like 25,000 to go up to 2.4 if necessary. Of course, that's what happens. We go back to 2.4. It's like, okay, let's go. Let's strap in. Let's buckle up. And, we're bobbing, we're weaving. We're just kind of breaking even. And I'm playing on this old shitty laptop because the casing on it broke, and it's been in the shop for like 4 or 5 days. The problem with this laptop is it doesn't have a battery. The battery is just toast on it. So it only operates off AC power. And, I bought it in 2010. It's kind of old. So the AC power connector isn't exactly all that great. And sure enough, I'm like in the small blind about to fold, and I move wrong, and it just shuts off. I'm like, no. So I'm like scrambling to reboot, and obviously it's slow as fucking dirt because it's old. Finally, I get back just in time to post in the cutoff. It's like, okay, this is great. And like an idiot, I don't just wait the 3 hands and come in the blinds. I'm like, nah, man, like this guy could quit any minute. I'm going to fire. So I post, and I get ace queen of diamonds. It's like, this is a pretty good event. This is a nice post for us. Folds to De, who I personally think is probably one of the toughest cash game players on the site. And he's on my immediate right. I know he's going to attack the fact that I posted, like, for sure. If anybody in this game is capable of being wide in this spot, it's going to be him, right? So he opens 3x, but I still have JSC left to act behind, and I only have 1 buy-in, right? So at this point, I've lost all my profits back. I have like 19.5 in front of me. And I'm just trying to determine what the best course of action is. And I just decide, like, sure, I could probably just win the pot here by 3-betting, but that's not really that great. I'm looking to make a big score here, and I just don't think De is going to get out of line with, like, ace-jack or hands that I dominate, king-queen, whatever. So I decide to flat, and of course my man comes along on the button. Well, the thing is like, with this guy, he likes to bet when check to. Like, that's the MO for him, So board comes down, ace jack 9, 2 hearts, no diamonds, and I have top pair queen kicker. De checks. I choose to check also, and of course I'm obliged by 3/4 pot bet. De calls. So now we're looking at like an SPR of 3. So I just go for it, right? Because like my hand's not going to get any better. I should have the best hand here a reasonable amount of time. I don't think that my man is slow playing by checking and calling, especially with me left to act behind on such a wet board. So I just decide, like, look, I'm going to go for it. I have 19,000 here. I'm going to make it. I think the bet was like 1,900 and a call. So I make it 6,000, and it goes snap, call, fold. I'm like, okay, all we got to do is fade, baby. 30 blinds effective here. I think I'm just going to call. Shoving's fine. But Shadow's a reg. I don't expect him to stack off light. And having this bit of a cushion's okay. And if Big Cake shoves, we obviously have a call from behind. So I make it 6K. My man JSC snap calls. And Def folds. All right, so now I think we have a float. Maybe to fold turns. Gonna be tough on that card. I would expect this to check back at a fair frequency. Hard for him to have queens. He could just double with king queen. That seems pretty aggressive. We do block it. Also seems hard to double with ace king. Like, ace king doesn't seem like a hand that wants to double at this point. We blocked the diamonds, which is a pretty negative event. Okay, we're gonna let it go. Not really very many good things can happen by calling in that instance. Okay, so debt ends up folding. Now there's like 15 or 16,000 in the pot. We have like 13,000 behind. We get the beautiful deuce of diamonds on the turn. I'm like, okay, let's go. Just don't have Jack 9. And I rip it in, and he tanks, and I'm like, no snap, no snap. That's great. And then he calls. Jack 9 of clubs. River Brick sends us fucking home. The account's busto. Could have been such a big night. Could have been such a big night. Plus 21,000 down to minus 17,000. All in the span of like 2 hours. Fucking heartbreaking. Just absolutely devastating for me. But, it's a sign of things to come, I think. The games have been... The games have been great. I mean, the sick thing is my entire upswing occurred at like 1020 and below. I had a couple tournament wins as well for like a total of 30K. But the other 50K was pretty much like 1020 and 510, which is really nice. I mean, the fact that those games are going that regularly, the fact that they're playing that big is a really good thing for anybody who's interested in playing cash, of course. The destructive nature and the allure of these high-stake games popping off for some tiny fixed amount of time where everybody's underrolled and there's just chaos that ensues. It's a beautiful thing, man. I honestly, it's sick. I should just avoid it like the plague, but I fucking love it. It's really great. Honestly, I just need to figure out a way to get way more liquidity on the site. It's not an easy thing to do because a lot of my money is tied up in non-liquid assets, but I might have to make an exception with these bracelet events coming up in July. We'll see. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be streaming that stuff. It's just way too big and way too volatile to be giving away my whole cards. Maybe I'll figure something out for doing it without whole cards, or maybe I'll just make some content for the sub site, entice you guys to get there and pay the $9.99 to see some reviews. We'll talk a little bit about that maybe. I actually do have a review coming out this Saturday. I'm going to be doing a review of my $500 40K guarantee win from 2 Tuesdays ago, I believe it was. Should be fun. I think I haven't decided yet because I haven't totally finished the video. It may be a 2-parter or it may be a 3-parter. I'm debating between doing it where it is re-entry down to final table bubble, and then the second video being from 9 down to heads up, and then the final video being heads up. And the only reason I'm considering it that way is because the heads up match was really fascinating. I came back from a 3-1 deficit 4 different times in the heads up match, which is just unheard of. And it's not even that I deserve like a huge pat on the back for it, but I do think there were a lot of spots where it could have gone the other way and I could have made a loose mistake, but just kind of having my pulse to the meta a little bit made it a little easier to navigate. And actually, shout out to my man PR Pirate at the table. That's who got second place in that event. So he was a very worthy Avis at heads up, played me very tough. Definitely probably felt like that victory was stolen away from him, which I understand. When we got all in, I just won all the hands. That's just what it boiled down to. And looks like I'm going to give him what for here too, as I flop the nuts. For SPR, I'd like to start betting, but I just have such massive advantage on this board, especially with my actual holding. I'm going to have to check back. Hope that he picks something up. A little 9-10 for the guy wouldn't be so bad. While we wait for him to double us up here, I'm going to get to the getting on the chat. All right, I think I just have a call here. It's going to make the SPR just over 1, so I can shove over any river bet, or I can just shove if check to. No bueno. Hopefully he has the queen. I mean, that's all we can really hope for at this point. Even the 9 would suffice. Luckily, I blocked the straight flush, so that's good news. I don't think I get to shove now. I think I have to bet less than all in, since it's very difficult for me to have natural bluffs. What up, Jamin? How you doing, my man? Hitting those plyos, then coming back. I'm shouting you out. You're not even going to hear me. I'll hit you back up when you get in the chat. Poker Ski, my man. How you doing? Says, I like how you've been handling all the racists. Keep it up, Berkey. Thanks, man. I appreciate you've been tuning into the vlogcast. We got another episode coming out tomorrow, live at noon Pacific. We are going to be having D Moon Girl join us, kind of talk a little bit about the state of affairs in Minnesota. So we're going to get a locals perspective there, as well as talk about just the reopening of all the casinos, what it's going to do regarding COVID, what we can expect moving forward. Just general current events, I would say, is a good way to describe it. I think we check this one back. Not really a texture we get to bet very often. The 3 just kills us. Garrett Bluffington, Buffington, what up, my man? How you doing? Patrick B says, what is highest stakes on WSOP? It's 100, 200, no limit. And I believe they're going to add 100, 200 PLO. Poker Ski says, when I log into WSOP mobile app, it only goes up to 2.5 for me. How do I get bigger games on there? You can't. The mobile app is limited. I don't think we can get better to fold here. King high, ace high just probably has to call given the line work we took. And with the board texture, he's very likely to have a pair or a straight often. We beat that hand, though. We can beat that hand. There's like 3 hands we could beat. Jack 8's one of them. What up, Mario? How you doing, man? Good to see you. What's STS mean? I need to know. Just got in. Good luck, Matt. STS. Shoot the shit? Shoot the shit. I like that. I hope that's what it means. Nah, I can't get a replacement battery. The computer's too old. It doesn't work. Like, it wasn't the battery that went bad. It was the actual what's the word I'm looking for? The reader, if you will. David said, Samsung S6 tablet, awesome battery, great for online poker on the go. Greetings, my man. Yeah, I actually don't need a laptop. I have a Predator, which is a beast. I just cracked the casing on it, and it made it so I couldn't open it. So that's just getting fixed. Started with 10K in chips, Nelson. So we have doubled to 20. We are not deep. We've just started. Re-entry ends in 1 level. So we got, what do we got? Let me take a peek. This client's been so weird lately. It just like won't let me open the lobby. It's so frustrating. I have to manually go to the lobby and double click it. Nope, that didn't work either. Come on. Come on, man. There we go. So we have 6 minutes of registration left. We're in for 1 bullet. $73,000 up top. 107 players remain of the 284 that played. This is why you late reg, guys. You know? This is why we late reg. Alex Giovanni says, I watched all the S4Y Origins, and that story sounds like the story of your poker life. Yeah, man. I got to tell you, I felt a little bad last night, but kind of was just like, whatever. Like, we were taking a shot. It was a really good fucking spot. But I woke up this morning sad. Just, like, so sad. Like, how am I going to go back to grinding the other session that I played was Saturday night. I played for 14 hours of 1020 and 2550. And I ended up going from like a 10K winner all the way down to a 20K loser. So over the last 2 sessions, I've given back about 35,000, which is painful, but I didn't even think of it this way. I wasn't really it kind of just dawned on me. But I was like 1 win away from completing the 100K challenge in a month. I was up like 91,000 or so on WSOP between like May 25th and now. But I've given almost half that back, which is it's a real fuck me moment, you know? That's what it feels like. But those are the swings, especially when you start playing 10x the stakes that you usually play. All right. Pick up a winner here. I think I could have maybe opened a little larger here with the big blind being so short. We don't really want to lay a super good price to just negatively free roll us, but que sera, sera. It's nice to go into the break with more than a starting stack for once. I shouldn't speak so soon, but got 3 minutes to fade. What up, Jamin? How you doing, my man? I was talking to you earlier, but you didn't hear me. I'm busy doing those plyometrics. I started P90X again today. This will be the 3rd time I've done it in my life. First time I did it, I legitimately got in the best shape of my life, but I was 27 years old. So that's when you're supposed to be in the best shape of your life. I'm now 38 years old, 11 years later. And the irony is that so far it's been easier, which worries me because it makes me think it's going to have a lesser effect since I'm a lot stronger now than I was then. And my weakest points are probably cardiovascular related. Although I don't even know if that's true. I just have like very poor muscle endurance. So I have high VO2, which means I'm a good distance runner. But I have very poor saturation when it comes to short bursts. So I'm just terrible at like sprints. I'm terrible at doing any sort of exercise for reps, that type of stuff. Chose to limp here. Stacks are a little bit awkward. I felt if I raised and got 3-bet, I'd kind of be in the cage. I think with the backdoor nut, second nut flush draw, we want to start denying some equity here. Something in the neighborhood of 700 feels about right. What up, Glass? How you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a while. When is PA combining with Nevada and New Jersey? I'm not sure. WSOP was supposed to be in PA in May, so they're definitely behind. Don't do it, man. Just rip off the Band-Aid. You got to get in there and just you gotta just hit the plyos. Otherwise, it's gonna get too late. You're not gonna want to do it. I woke up today wanting to tear the head off of something, and then I put off my workout till like 3 o'clock, and I was fucking miserable by the time I started it. Like a level of misery that I can't even really speak to. At this depth, I'm actually gonna choose the limp. I think it makes the most sense given the stack sizes. They just play a lot easier against me if I choose to raise. And my hand has good post-flop realization properties. Flop middle pair with the backdoor. We can start betting there. What up, Brent? How you doing, man? Kravinka, what's good? Jay Patel, how are things in Austin, my man? I saw that you guys are all opened up and just playing with fire out there. The deuce is relatively a brick, but can give him some nutted hands. So I'm actually going to check back. I think I have a good bluff catcher on the river. 10 shouldn't really change too much. Brian Roy says, do you know what poker rooms are like in Vegas? Here in Phoenix, rooms are packed with a long waiting list. Games are short-handed, some tables with plexiglass. Yeah, from what I understand, it's pretty much the same thing here. The casinos are just packed. Okay, I mean, I think this is 4-5 a lot. It could be a hand like... I don't think he would turn 6-4 into a bluff. It could be a hand like 3-4 that he's choosing to bluff with, or ace-4 offsuit, though he had check fold clicked pre-flop, like it snap checked whenever I limped in. He could have other strong hands that I obviously am unlikely to beat, like 3 deuce. The thing is, I cap myself when I check back in the sense that I'm very unlikely to have a jack. So he could choose a hand like 5-7, which if he has all of them, he's massively over bluffing this spot. Interesting. I think I'm just going to pass. It's too close. I do think that he's probably over bluffing that spot a little bit, and I'd very happily call with the jack. All right, I have a 3-minute break, and I will return. What we got? Queen 8? Nobody wants to play that. Yeah, Jamie, you got the same makeup as me, except for the difference is when you add muscle and lose fat, you get fucking shredded. I get a little bit less puffy. That's it. That's all. That's all that happens. Oh man. I can sweat though. That's what I got going for me. What up, PR Pirate? Shout out, man. I was talking about earlier. You may have missed it on the stream, but I was talking about our little heads up match. Sad to see you were playing on your phone that whole time. I can't imagine how stressful that was, especially given that it was one of those payout structures where the difference between first and second were pretty big. But if you're interested, I am going to do a review of that entire tournament on S4Y TV. It's going to come out. First episode will be out on Saturday. I'll say good things, I promise. Yeah, I saw Venetian had 2550 running the last few days. Which makes me want to get out. I mean, 2550 five-handed makes me want to risk it, I got to tell you. All right, Pocket 8s, rated GTO, Ricky Guam, I think, at least from what Shadow is saying, is to my right. These spots are never fun. I think we have the choice between flatting and 3-bet getting it in. I mean, we could just rip. I think ripping is probably fine. Ripping is probably fine. I'm just going to choose to call, though. And be punished for it. I'm going to face max pain. My real decision there is just how much variance I want to take on this early in the event. If I have 20 blinds, I think it's a no-brainer shove. I think at 26, 27, whatever we had, it becomes a little bit more challenging. I don't expect we're getting check raised here very often, but I also don't expect he has too much of a check fold range outside of hands that we beat. So 6s, 4s, 3s, 2s, something like that. I'm going to choose to check back. I guess he could have had a hand like ace-queen, but that's obviously not check folding. So now we beat fewer hands than we beat previously. If this were a brick heart, I would bet small to protect my hand. So if this were like the deuce of hearts or the 9 of hearts, something like that, I would probably bet small. As is, I'm going to continue to try to show it down. And now we beat even fewer hands. So we beat 6s, 4s, 3s, 2s. And that's it. Which they are all incentivized to check, which is great news. I really don't think there's very much bluffing that takes place when he chooses to bet here. I think we would see maybe a hand like... That sizing's odd. That sizing's odd just due to how few bluffs he has and how wide he should probably want to go for value. Like, I think he could probably pretty comfortably bet a jack. Maybe not. Maybe not. So if he's only betting a queen or better for value, I'm not really sure what he's choosing to bluff with. Maybe a hand like 5-6 of spades. Maybe a hand like 7-6 of spades. Those would make sense. In any event, not a good run out for us. Hopefully we just like faded a cooler and he had queens. What up, Taylor? How you doing? How you doing, Landon? Nice to see you guys here in the chat. GGPR. Get him next time, big guy. So right now we have 93 players left. Top 30 cash. First place is 75K on the dot. Pretty great, man. I got to tell you. So there were 291 players in the field. And post re-entry, we're down to 91. And I got to tell you, it's not a bad thing to just be in here mixing it up with 20 bigs when, 2/3 of the field is gone. That adds a lot of value to your stack. Especially when you only have to pay a minimum for it. I do have a $500 buy-in that I'll be playing if and when we bust this one. Otherwise, I'm going to max late reg it, which we still have an hour and a half to register for. Giovanni asks, if you're only trying to play one bullet, would it be better higher EV to play early rounds or max late reg? I don't even think it's remotely close. I think it's max late regging. The amount of chips on average that you'll accumulate through the early levels is very minimal, and their actual ICM worth is pretty close to zero. Whereas when you max late reg, you guarantee that you outlast 2/3 of the field, which instantly makes your buy-in worth more than what you're paying for it. So if this folds to us, we have the choice between limping and shoving, I think. Both function pretty well. If Ricky opens, I think this is probably a jam. It's a little on the loose side. I'm going to choose the limp. I think I would shove King Jack suited. Limping functions really well because these two are 40 blinds effective. So they can't really put in too much aggressive action without a hand. And this hand doesn't really care about limp folding. It's not that strong. Going 4x here for big cakes is like a huge risk, especially when Shadow Fiend covers. So I'm not that concerned about this. I can also like work in... I don't need to work in aces, but I can also work in other hands that don't want to just open rip because they have better value doing other things, like nines. So like limp getting it in there with nines is pretty fine. I also think choosing a hand like ace queen or ace king suited would be fine too because they lose value when they open shove. But they're not exactly great hands to min raise whenever you have sub 20 blinds and the big blind's just going to call a lot. What up, Vito? How you doing, man? Let's see here. I won't lie, I passed on a couple of those shove spots because I'm streaming too. Like, I think I would just be heartbroken to get it in a flip and just bust that quickly and be like, all right, guys, it's been 40 minutes. GG. You got one story out of me. We'll see you on Thursday. Yeah, anyway, I think the important thing is when choosing to limp the button in that particular spot, just to ensure that you don't have strictly limp folds. And, we don't have to be that top heavy to have hands that will comfortably limp get it in. This is close. We could choose to shove it. I think we're just ever so slightly too deep. I mean, the thing is, I would shove versus cut or button for sure. Yeah, I'm just going to choose to call. Big Cakes hasn't been overly active. And we're just going to flop quads. So that's going to make life really easy. Let's hope he has an ace and just chooses to double us this hand. He's going to go for the quarter pot bet, or third pot bet, I guess. Obviously, we just have a call. I think we can lead the 5 of spades some of the time, but I don't think we need to in this instance. Hmm, 4K is nice. I think we can rip here just because... Is he priced in the call with his flush draws? 23,000 in the middle, and it would be 7,000 for him to call. Yeah, I think he has to call with all of his draws. He's probably airballing, but it's like, if I just call, when SPRs are that bad, we just don't get jammed on. I don't even think, like, thin value shoves at that point. So, like, basically, I think he would only shove river with hands that he would call off turn with anyway. And maybe I'm just being too pessimistic. Maybe, like, you know, he has king, queen off, and we'll just go off if I check to him 3 times. But tough to say. Paul DX says, how many games should the baseball players and owners agree to, Berkey? I mean, right now they're getting pretty close to only playing half a season, right? We're what, 20 days away from what would otherwise be the All-Star break? Seems reasonable at this point to just play a half a season, bring the guys back at the All-Star break. The alternative would be to playing like 2/3 of a season and fixing in more double headers, but I don't think any of the players are going to be up for that, considering they didn't get a spring training. They probably haven't necessarily been staying in baseball shape. Yeah, I mean, if we lost the season entirely, I wouldn't be super shocked, to be honest. Matter where I go. I got my booster seat now, so I got to fix the camera. Maybe with the quads I should call and then just open rip river. I think I like that line better, even though it's like severely under bluffed. At that point, like, you know, people can just draw their own conclusions, where when you check shove, it just looks like you have a hand that is too strong to do anything else with. You hush your mouth, bish. Baseball's glorious. I was watching the 2005 College World Series the other day. That was exhilarating. It was so wild. I was watching Florida and Texas play, and I think I'm gonna keep up the limping and just see like how they react. But I was watching Florida versus Texas, and you know, basically everybody who played in that World Series would either be retired now from the major leagues or damn near retired. You know, basically they would be like 36 years old at this point. And I didn't see one single star out of the collective. So I'm going to take the same line I took last time with the 6. We got ourselves a nice little hand here. Should Shadow go for it again. I think we have an all-in over any bet, even if he goes like pot plus. I just can't fathom. Wow, he did take the same line. So funny. This makes me think that he was for sure bluffing the last one. But the irony is, in this instance, there's no straight available. There's no flush available. So, like, the hands that you choose to bluff with are very non-obvious in this particular spot. And generally in the spots where bluffing ranges are non-obvious, people will overbluff because they don't know where to begin, right? So they'll start choosing Jack 10 because it blocks some kings, and they'll choose like 10-9 because it blocks some queens, and you know, whatever. It's really hard to fix what you're supposed to be bluffing with. Any event, I think we have a clear shove. If he wakes up with a set in this spot, kudos to him. Part of me wanted to just call just to see what he has. As I imagine it's like a deuce a lot. I did limp the button, so like I think the things that he wants to... Oh, yeah. Okay, so he did have it there. And that's what I thought could have been happening last time, where he rivered like bottom two, and because I checked back, it's just obvious I don't ever have a hand that can pay him off. Or sorry, I don't ever have a hand that can bet. So he just like realizes I have a bluff catcher and just tries to get me to pay max. Here versus a 9-blind shove. This is close. I think it's definitely going to have to be a call. I don't see any reason to reshove with big cakes behind. It's just really brutal if Spaghetti wakes up, because we're going to be getting too good of a price to ever fold. Ah, spade. Nice hand, sir. Nice hand. Easy come, easy go. John Dorsey says, Berkey, I saw that one vlog where you were in Florida and rented a Ferrari. Beautiful car. Do you own one or got any exotics? Love these cars. I didn't actually rent it. I have a friend down there who owns Fort Lauderdale Ferrari Maserati. And every time I come into town, he lets me borrow a car. So he was nice enough to let me go rip around the streets for a week or so in an exotic, and he takes care of me. He's currently got me in a Maserati GT, so that's fun. And he hooks me up with the old nice little deal. Why did he say nice hand, Rick? Oh, maybe that was old. Yeah, I honestly, I love the car to death. It's amazing. Boy, good thing we rivered that 7, because we would have snapped that overbet so fast with one pair. Lucky, 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 lucky. I wonder if we could fold... I don't want to second guess. I just think that these guys are probably shoving very tightly, even for 9 blinds. I know Ricky to be rather aggressive. We obviously have a continue here with King 9. Depending on the sizing he chooses, we could consider shoving. I think the hand plays fine that way. Not surprised to see him fold some of his trash. Stab says, in a time of conspiracy theories, what conspiracy would Jins like to start? It's funny, I was talking to Andre about that yesterday and saying that like we should just abandon S4Y and Grey Torp Studios altogether and just band together to just start creating fake news. Just 24/7, round the clock, fake news cycle. We're just gonna absolutely mash it. I mean, there's just infinite money in the game, you know? So this is a spot where if it folds to me, I will be raising 2.25. All right, we just have a fold. I could limp that hand and just call Shadow's rip, and I think that's fine too. But the problem is with Shadow being so short, big cakes can kind of like raise a little bit wider now without any threat behind him. Thiago says, how was last night's session? Sorry if I didn't catch it earlier. Watching Stevenson's crush it in the ring. It was good, then it was bad. I won like 22,000 at 50, 100, and then I lost like 43,000 at 100, 200. Speak of the devil, Mr. De himself graces us with his presence. I think he won last night. Nothing super noteworthy. I think we won maybe like 12 or 13,000. The man that we built the game around was the big winner. He was the crusher. Oh, come on, this guy. 10 blinds. All right, we're going to beat him this time. This time we have to reshove. Many lives I live for love. Let's go. Yeah, we're going to win this one for sure. Spade, 6, 7, ace, 10. There it is. Chutes and Ladders or Candyland? I was definitely a Chutes and Ladders kid for sure. Loved it. Paul says, if you bust big cakes, I'm all about donating to S4Y. Just get him to pay you off more with quads next time. Yeah, I fucked up, man. I fucked up. I should have been paying attention to your warning. He probably would have just went off based on what you were saying. He got moved to another table, but I'll come for his ass if he's still in. Shout out to Polix, second in chips. My man Potential, Ryan LaPlante, third in chips. Joey Chong, fourth in chips. My former roommate Dan O'Brien, fifth in chips. What is going on? Nothing but the OGs out in here. What is happening right now in this 1K? I'm coming for them all. I'm coming for them all. One by one, we're going to pick them all off. I'm happy now because it's early and I have chips. The pain hasn't really set in yet. You know how it goes. Hello, Christian. How are you doing on your day off? Stav, how was Matt Hunt's lesson today? He told me that he forewarned me that it was going to be a good one. Many lives I live for love. It don't get easier. It don't get easier. 21 of 70. 30 pay. We're in good shape. Man, it's a shame my intro got cut off. I'll do it again. I'll do it again on Thursday. I hit it. I hit it with a cold open of my own. We'll get you guys with it on Thursday. But that don't come. All right, Spaghetti. What a name. What possesses you to take the online moniker of Spaghetti? Sketty Eddie. Bro, I don't use the 12-year-old computer. It's just a backup. Relax. Okay. 46.5 blinds effective. I think we have a 3-bet fold here. So we're going to go to 8.5. This is a particularly good candidate. It double blocks my opponents. Makes it very difficult for Dead to wake up here with a hand like Ace King, Ace Queen, Kings Queens, etc. So generally speaking, whenever we have hands that we want to quote unquote bluff with, it's going to be of this caliber. Of course, he just finds it. Why wouldn't he? I'm sure that he has like Ace Deuce suited and just doesn't give a fuck because why not? Lucky for him, I don't have a call off. And he looks like a genius. Maybe that's why I think he's the best player on the site, is because his timing is fucking impeccable. Pretty till you die. Maybe not that impeccable. Depends if a 5 falls or not. Impeccable. His timing is impeccable. You know what I mean? I will not be traveling to play the GG bracelets. We have a full month of bracelets here, and I can't play both. So I don't really see a reason to. So Megalomaniac's the only person I don't know at this table. It's a new screen name to me. Probably someone just firing for a ring. Can't blame them. We all want a ring. Chasing that jewelry, you know? I think we're a little bit too deep to defend this widely. We're going to go ahead and pass, especially against Under the Gun, who is a good player. And we get the exact same spot as last time. A little bit less deep now, only 30 blinds. Megalomaniac opens. I still think we have a 3-bet spot here. Yeah, I think the hand's just too good to pass on this opportunity. So again, I think we're going to go somewhere in the neighborhood of, let's go 9,300. One for two, we'll take it. Yes, Christian, we limped the King 7-0. We did. Three days. Yo, Chin gets so flustered, man. He gets so... Ha! What do you mean I had a day off? I got no days off. I'm Goggins up in this motherfucker. He does the chat pro voice. I do the angry Chin chat pro voice. Who am I? Who am I? Anyway. Big Cakes 1 joins us. Don't know who that is. Always nice to see an unrecognizable name. I hate Christian. I hate him so bad. He knows that's a good limp. He's such an idiot. I'm not talented enough. Now's when we want the walk, not when we have king 9 suited. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Ricky will take a limping strategy, especially after folding the last one. I imagine he's just going to take a raise fold strategy. And like I said, I know him to be a bit on the aggressive side. I think that confirms it. 2 folds in a row. I don't really foresee him ever having much of a limp there. Who am I on Judgment Day? Who am I to stand in the way? Yo, Chin's putting me on tilt, man. That is not Dennis Phillips. I can promise you that. I can promise you that. If I ever catch Dennis Phillips in a 100-200 game, I'm shutting it down. Impeccable is not new to my vocabulary, I promise you. Where is Dictionary of Berkey? Let's get that fucking account back here. I hate when all the pre-workout gets stuck to the bottom of the shaker container, you know what I'm saying? Because now I finished all the water, and I'm left with this concentration of goodness. You know what it's like? It's like I'm gonna show my poorness growing up again. But as a snack, as a kid, when we'd get our food stamps, and my mom would make it to the store, obviously we just got all trash, right? But some of the trash we got was frozen orange juice concentrate. And on days where you were feeling like, you know, really in need of something snack-wise because the cupboards were bare, you just take the can of orange juice concentrate and you just fucking eat it like it's a slushie. It was so good. So good. Oh yeah, you're right, Logan. I actually knew that. I don't know why. I don't know why I said that. You're right. I did know that that's who that was. Well, I know everybody at this table, except MC Raw Dog. He sounds like a treat. We got Gordon Veo to our left, Sean O'Donnell to his left. I know who Timby is. I have to look at the sheet again, though. And then my man Tall Brian to my right. Shout out to Brian. 80K in chips. Out there mashing it. Do you think Chin would trade poker coaching for idiom coaching? It's a great question, Stav. I think it's a worthwhile pursuit. Let's put it that way. Okay, we're going to have a defend here. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Ooh. So this is a very specific range of hands. I actually expect it to be some offsuit hands that dominate me, but getting laid the price we are with Jack 10, I think it's too good to fold. And now we're going to be in that weird zone. We have a lot of good properties to our hand, though. We have top pair. We have the 10 of diamonds, which serves us pretty well. That's a nice clean out should the 10 peel. The deuce is nice. We're the only one with 5-4 coverage. Let's make that abundantly clear. We don't really like to see Brian betting in this spot. As I mentioned, he has us dominated a lot with like ace jack, king jack. But we're going to try to set the price for ourselves. as I don't expect Timby to have checked back anything that beats us in this instance. He could, however, have a hand like 10s or 9s that's willing to call one. And should we face a call from Brian, we're probably going to be looking to check down river. Instead, we just win it. Winning it's nice. I say that all the time, but it's true. That old familiar song. We don't hide in the shadows. We don't look. Oh, right. Okay. I know who that is now. Whew, that's tart. Ha. And I know that I'm guilty, said I don't know. That's why I stay on the run. Robert, there were 291 players. 60 remain. As you can see, we are 27 of 60. 30 cash. On the run. On the run. Yeah, Chin saying that online bracelets don't have the same prestige as live. I think maybe the word we're getting hung up on is prestige. A bracelet's a bracelet. And I honestly don't know that a live bracelet possesses that much prestige, right? Like, it comes with a certain weight of accomplishment, and it has a certain intrinsic value, I guess, to one's resume or career. But I agree with him that winning an online tournament is just not as impressive as winning a live tournament. There's something very magical about having to play for 3 or 4 days at your best. And, you know, being lucky enough or good enough or something in between to capture the first place prize. And when you condense that into a 45-day period where people are literally hopping from event to event, you know, I mean, think about it this way. Like, I wait until the end of registration to hop in, and 2/3 of the field's gone. I'm going to play this event for 6 hours at the most, and if I win it, I get the ring, right? And if this were a bracelet event, I would get the bracelet, whatever, for a 6-hour time commitment. And yeah, all the same things have to occur in those 6 hours that have to occur over 3 or 4 days. I have to run well. I have to make good decisions. I have to play my best. But it's reduced down to 6 hours, right? The attention span is just way more obtainable in those short time frames. And I think that, you know, when you compare it to a 3 or 4 or 5 day long live event, there's just something very unique and special about the live realm that doesn't even remotely compare to the online. And I know people who mostly play online probably don't agree with that because everyone's partial to their own particular bias. But I think that if we look at it a little bit more objectively as far as like time commitment, as far as you know, the pace of each decision that you make, I don't know, man. I mean, to me, it's just like it's a lot more pure when stamina and I guess like mental bandwidth becomes a huge factor. A little bit of light. Right. Yeah, you're right, Christian. But I don't have the ability to add water right now, you know, so I had that little bit of tartness. What up, Lily? How you doing? You bought grape? Whoa. 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 Welch's grape. Whoa. Sick. Everybody pretty deep here. All right, facing a small blind call from an otherwise pretty aggressive player, I would expect this to be almost strictly middling pocket pairs and then hands that I dominate. On that particular texture, I think we check because we give him the opportunity to peel dead. We want to see something like a deuce through a 7, I think. 5's nice. He could have some suited aces here that also choose not to 3-bet. Something in the neighborhood of like ace deuce through ace 10 of diamonds, maybe. Okay, yeah, I think we just have no choice but to call. It's always hard to play the nuts because I'm trying to think like what I would do with my bluff range. So if I had Jack 10 of spades, King 10 of spades, something of that nature, do I start raising here ever? I think the answer is largely no, though. No, it's not Tim Riley. It's somebody that you guys wouldn't know. He's just a Jersey reg. So we're just trying to get paid. When he has 6s full, hopefully he'll choose the check raise. I think we're going to go something like... We're going to go a little less than half pot. We don't have a lot of bluffs as played. But he could have potential bluffs if he has the king of spades in hand. Oh, wow, he had Jack 10 of spades. Ah-ya! Man. We could have went for it. I didn't even really consider that he would check a flush on the end. That is strange to me. That's a very weird check to me. The only thing I can think of is that he's afraid of king, queen of spades exactly. With him holding Jack 10 of spades, I just don't have any flushes. I literally have one combination of flushes. But I have a lot of queen X and ace X. So to me, it makes a lot more sense for him to be betting like 2/3 pot there and just trying to get me to call down and bluff catch. I don't have any bluffs, so like you don't want to check a hand of value trying to make me bluff in a situation where like I'm just pretty devoid of them. And I could also, I guess, have smaller flushes. I could sometimes have 7-8 of spades or 8-9 of spades. So there's like one flush that beats him, two flushes that I beat. Also, I can't raise with king, queen of spades. If I have that hand and he leads for 2/3 pot, I just like have to just call. And the birds of the circle. Can't help but feel like we left a little value on the table there. I mean, we kind of knew where he was at. I was thinking a little bit too much in the pocket pair range and not enough in the suited Broadway range, I guess. If I had been thinking a little bit more clearly, obviously he could have had a hand like queen jack of spades, king queen of spades, jack 10 of spades. Gives us a lot more room to charge there. Go something more like 2/3 pot. King 5 off here. I'm actually going to choose to raise. I think that this is a pretty good play whenever you have like a high-low hand like this. I know it's a weird way of thinking about it, but effectively, we do have good removal properties. It's not the worst thing in the world when we get called, but we apply a lot of pressure to some better hands. Queen high 2 spades. I think this is a pretty natural c-bet for us. I think we're going to go 4,100. Wins. Oh no! Brian's watching. Don't look at that hand, Brian. I'll never do it again. I didn't mean to disrespect you. See, you can't raise light out of the big blind whenever the small blind is watching your fucking stream. This is the problem. This is the problem. Brian, I swear to God, I'm going to have it next time, man. So don't be getting cute with your limps. Yo, if you had strawberry jelly, you're rich as fuck. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you. The irony is they cost the same, but if you had strawberry jelly, you're privileged. That's it. If you don't know why grape is the best jelly, a la you've never had any other jelly, then you don't know the struggle, man. You know? That's what it comes down to. You're correct, Jeff. It is Keith Donovan. That's why I didn't bother saying anything. I assume nobody knows who he is. He's just I shouldn't say just, but he's an East Coast grinder. Those East Coast guys, they don't get the recognition, you know? You could have figured that out by his name anyway. A dip-throwing disciple. Feeling sore. Holy Ghost is young. Hessian and Deville. Yo, Lily goes hard. Tall Brian, do you play pickleball? Is this something you'd be interested in? Should we add you to the group chat? Immune says, I don't mind the online bracelets considering it's still up in the air whether live WSOP will actually happen. For all we know, these could be the only bracelets awarded in 2020. I don't think there's any problem with having online bracelets. I'm just saying that it's different. And I don't want to use the word prestige because I don't think trophies don't have prestige, especially when, you know, it's like, whatever. People talk about like the number of events and how much easier it becomes to win a bracelet, yada, yada, yada. It's still fucking hard, okay? It's still really fucking hard to win a bracelet, number one. Number two, who cares? Who cares? The only thing that carries any weight is the main event bracelet. And honestly, even that isn't a good reflection of like who the best of the best is in the poker community at any one given time. We don't look at the main event champion the way we did 10 years ago any longer. You know, we don't put him on the same pedestal. So it's just like, it is what it is, man. It's a nice trophy that has a nice story behind it that is a good bullet point for your resume. But like this whole conversation about, is it prestigious? Is it this? Is it that? Well, I mean, you know, it's a trophy for an event that runs once a year. It is what it is. Do I want one? Fuck yes. Do I care if I win it online or live? Not at all. Would I not take a bracelet for an extra 10% in earnings on any event that I play? In a heartbeat. I won literally one live tournament in the last 13 years, I think. And it was a 25K at the Aria. And they had a trophy for me, and they said, it's in the back office. I'll go get it for you. I said, I don't care. I don't care. Like, what the fuck am I going to do with it? I didn't even win the tournament. I don't even deserve the trophy. I chopped 3-ways with Ike and Schindler. I'm probably a dog despite having a 2-1 chip lead. Although it was 2015, which makes me think I was probably closer to even money back then. To hide. Tell me it's... So this is going to be a shove if it folds to us. If penny opens, weird spot. Probably have a small 3-bet. Versus Sean's open. Puke. Very pukey. I actually think we call. Chin's pulling his hair out right now because he 100% wants to fold. We could 3-bet, actually. The stack depth really allows for it. He's 35 blinds effective. So we can make it 7.5 here pretty comfortably. And he'll probably never call. Or at least won't call often. When he does call, we'll be flipping or dominated. Okay, that makes life easy. Good luck, Brian. Take my play away from me. Her hair. Oh, God's a hole in her and blue light everywhere. She is the revolution. Whoops. Pass on that button open. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Grace to be forgiven. Five-handed. Good spot to shower him. We don't have to go big here. So we're 15 out of the money. This gets a little bit dicey. Probably going to have to play fewer and fewer pots against Brian specifically. Candidate just felt too good here to pass on. As I'm sure his hand felt too good to pass on too. So we'll live with it. Okay. Dennis Phillips. Oh man, I would love to find out the debt is Dennis Phillips. It would be like finding out that there's aliens amongst us. All right, I'm adding you to the group chat. I think I have your number. If I don't, I'll get it off Danielle. Jesse's in our group chat, but he never fucking plays. Yo, all right, knock this shit off, man. You catch me at the bottom twice. It's not happening again. I'm just going to snap. God, you still one fucking pot blind versus blind. He goes hard. I'll be back. Oh, baby. Good luck us. We're back just in time. All right, my man here opens off 15. We can be dominated some of the time, but he also has fold equity. Brian, don't just come in the chat all innocent like you haven't ripped it up my ass the last 3 pots I've played. You know, I took one hand from you with the king 5, okay? Chill out, bro. Act like you've had a chip lead before, you know? Dying night. 44 remain. 30 pay. What's Jesse sick of? Winning money? He's sick from winning too much money? Is that what it is? I could see that being a problem. Um, 30 effective here on the bubs. I think we limp. I think we limp and take away the easy rip here for Veo. Yeah, that's us. We're going to be doing okay on this texture. Bro, I'm not streaming 100 200. Maybe I'll do it cards covered one of these days. If it ever pops off again and I get enough money on my... If I win this tournament and 100 200 pops off, I'll do some cards off. This is a pretty nice hand. We blocked some of the offsuit varieties of 7-6 and 7-5. We also blocked 7-5 of diamonds, which is a pretty critical hand to be blocking. 3-4 does come through. This deuce isn't exactly our favorite card in the deck. We do have some negative blocking properties in that we block 7-8, but we block 7-8 of diamonds, which is a pretty good event. I think we just have to keep going for it here. I think we have a triple barrel candidate. We're mostly targeting a 6 through a lot of pressure. Sean's very capable of bluff catching down here. So, you know, we may find ourselves giving up on this one on the river. But I do think we likely have 12 live outs. He'll have some ace-x, not a ton. And he probably doesn't think I have as much ace-x limping the button as I do. But I actually would be limping a lot of these trashier ace-x's, like ace-deuce, ace-4, ace-5. Just being able to fold to the 16 big blind shove of Veo rather than having to cope with raise deciding. Stugat says, are you playing the GG series? I don't plan on it, no. All your dying nights. All right, Brian. I'm going to take your move away from you. This son of a bitch. If he wants to shove for 33 effective, I'm going to show him aces. Oh, daddy. Well, I lie drinking whiskey most every night. Have to start with a bet here, of course. We do have massive range advantage here and could consider checking back some of the time, but these guys are going to have equity. 2 SPR, we want to get it to a shove situation on the river. I think going something in the neighborhood of just shy of half pot, like 45%. Is about right. Great run out for us. I think Raw Dog is going to show up here with some Ace X for sure. Hopefully he finds himself at top of range. Something like Ace Deuce. Hopefully it's not a bigger flush, which is definitely feasible. No snap. All right, let's go. Got him. Oh, you're so lucky I got moved, Brian. I was going to do nothing. I was literally going to do nothing. Oh, man, it's all my friends. All my friends are here on the bubble. I literally know everybody but Blondie 2020. Treat you fine. And I heard those nasty things you said about me to a friend of mine. I hear that, what I hear the most. Baby, you done me wrong. 41 remain. 30 make the money. Mr. Potential all in here on the bubs. Versus my boy, who probably doesn't want me divulging his screen name, so I won't. Noah Shaw said, is Soto going to add any more? Ooh, loose call, loose call. Punished. Probably more of a loose bet than anything. The hand doesn't really need a lot of protection, and it's difficult to get called by worse. I mean, you are protecting a little bit versus like some king high hands and queen high hands, but it's a nightmare when you get check ripped on. It's a nightmare, you know? Oh, I'm an idiot. This isn't who I thought it was. That's James Carroll. I thought it was my roommate Dan O'Brien, my old roommate Dan O'Brien. I think his is something else meaty, if I recall. That makes a lot more sense. I was gonna say that's pretty fucking spewy for Dan. But Kroll Daddy, he's like me, you know. He's got a lot of heart, a lot of imagination. Wow, this is an OG fucking table. Chong, LaPlante, Kroll, me, and then the young up-and-comer, Pollux. Can't call there. It's a big rip. Big rip. We're 11 of 41, 30 pay. Noah asked, is Soto going to add any more episodes to Hand Classes? Best series, I think. I agree, it's a really good series. I don't think he intends on expanding it, but if there's something that you think it particularly lacks, perhaps we could get him in the lab and see what he can contribute. Winding staircase lead. Do Where are we at on that 500 registration? Should probably get in there. Oh, I hope I didn't miss it. No, I didn't. Nope. Still got 30 minutes. 30 whole minutes. Where's it at right now? 255. So I can come in with 20 bigs. Okay. All right. Well, I'm feeling generous. We'll add a second table. I really don't want to break this max late reg thing, so I'm not gonna. Close between a limp and a raise. I'm gonna lean limp. What a holy man did you see? What lovers did you touch? That I wanna know so much. This is a good lead by Kroll. I have no pair, no draw. I'm gonna just give it up. Can do some things when we have backdoor equity that's reasonable, but in that instance, a 7 or a 10 doesn't really help our cause much, and he's gonna be able to apply pressure. Now this particular hand, I think we just get to open. Blondie shoves, obviously we have a fold, but being that it's a bubble, we're just going to capitalize that spot a lot. This spot's a little bit more peculiar. We have all the big stacks left to act. I think I'm going to choose to limp it. We just don't gain very much by raising here. Chong gets to apply a lot of pressure should he choose to do so. You know, Kroll could just be 3-bet shoving at a reasonable frequency. Blondie obviously has an all-in stack as well. I pose a big enough threat when I limp that it's difficult for Joey to really defend through any other metric but checking. This is an above average flop for us. We're going to start with a... let's go a little bit bigger. Let's go... about 2.5 blinds. This gets sticky if he chooses to check raise. Fortunately for us, he doesn't. I think we have another natural continue here. We get to bet a little bit on the smaller side now. I think we're going to go something like half pot. If we face another call here, there aren't many cards outside of a 10 or a 9 that I would plan to bet river with. Certainly not that one. Good news is the 8 is better than a jack. That's for sure. This should complete more 2-pair for Joey than it does straights. But obviously we get sucked out on here at some frequency, so we're just going to be checking down. We can beat that hand. We can beat that hand. Something's gonna play the fool tonight. Chances are it's gonna be me. Nice hand. I would defend on a non-bubble spot, obviously, but I believe she's chip leading. If she's not, she's top 3. Yeah, so she's 3rd in chips. I am 8th in chips. Not really a spot where I want to play Jack 9 off out of position. What she knows. Matt Travis says, what was the lineup for 100-200 game? How did you do? Not great. I ended up losing a total of 17K, I believe. This hand would pretty much just function. Yeah, I think we just have a limp. I was going to 3x it to make my life simple, but I think we're too deep and she can just apply too much bubble pressure. So this being one of our limp folds isn't really that big of a deal. Yeah, that's fine. That's a good price, though. We'll have limp calls in that range, obviously. We'll also have limp raises for sure. I think at this juncture of the event, we're mostly just taking a limping strategy. Chewy! My man, Lucky Chewy, fills the seat of potential. Okay, in this spot, I think we want to induce. So I think the best way to do that is to actually raise slightly larger. We could have limped this hand also, but the reason we were limping is because aggressive action doesn't come through. Whereas when we raise a little bit larger, it makes it tougher for James to defend. And, you know, he may just make some bubble errors and rip hands that we dominate. I think we have the exact same spot here. We don't want Blondie to be flatting. And a reshove by anybody else. Obviously, we're folding. Don't turn your back on me, mama. Oh, it's out of order today. I must have hit shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dude. To Reno and a long, long way to go before I die. Just shooting and screaming. Never talk no, fall in love with the flame. With the flame. With the flame. Hey, hey. All in. Wow. Went for it. 8 of 36. 30 make the money. We're in a pretty good spot. It'd be great if we didn't have a bigger stack to our left. Krista's putting us in a bubble cage, if you will. There's nothing we can do. We have to wait for good hands. That's fine. Oh, Chewy. Chewy. GG, buddy. GG. Wrong out. You hit the wrong out. Jack of Hearts was actually live. Shot you down. They shot you down. Oh, Kroll Daddy's going to be a bear to deal with now. An above average hand to defend with. If we were slightly deeper, I think we could have just ripped it on his ass. Or had a slightly better hand. That's the ideal strategy we want to employ at that point, but it's hard. 35 remains, 75,000 to first. That's where we're at. Yeah, we're going to take a limp all strategy regardless. It's an above average flop for us. No real need to protect. She's incentivized to bet. So we're going to start by checking. Do-do-do-do-do-do. They shut you down. They shut you down. Dom says, shouldn't the big blind have raised with ace-7 off preflop? I don't think so. We were really deep, and it's just very awkward for him to make it 5 big blinds there when I could just be limp ripping at the stack depth that we were at. Clear call. Turn 6. I think we have another check, obviously. And then a block bet on the river, should he check back. Or, sorry, should she check back? My apologies. Reflex. Looks like we're going to face the heat. It looks like she's going to trip off here. Pot's going to be 22K on the river. I can't imagine a bet size we fold to. No real reason to block here. I don't think worse ever calls. And we win. Sometimes she just checks down and gives up. That's nice. She had ace-6, turning middle pair, going for thin value. I think that's very reasonable. Could have checked that hand back also and then called my block bet on the river. I think that's also very reasonable. Folded the hand in the walls and cried for wanting. Okay, we're going to let that go. What up, Tinny? How you doing, man? Hope the new company platform, all that jazz is taking off. I would love to win one, man. Especially this one. 75K up top. We love it. We would love to rip one off, man. Do-do-do-do-do. Really don't care. All right, again, I think we have an open here. Let's see. 7 blinds. Yeah, I think we just have a raise call. Oh, no! Brian, what happened? What happened, my man? Tall Brian. Ugh, this sucks, but we're getting 3-1. Okay, let's win a flip. Let's go! Ship it! Man down. 34 remain, 30 cash. We are going to be 4th in chips, maybe? Making light work. 6th in chips, 6 of 34. Let's go. Penny down to 47K. Tall Brian, let's go, my man. Hang in there. Nobody fights the bubble like my man Penny. He ain't here to fuck around, you know? 7 tables left. We have 5th and 6th in chips sitting right next to one another because why not? Joey Chong also in the top 10. Well, actually 7th. So it's 5th, 6th, 7th. Oh, yeah. And then 12th. 12th in chips, 5th in chips, 6th in chips, 7th in chips. That's our table. Let's fucking go. LaPlante is a beast. If you guys want, we actually worked out a cross promotion with them. So by all means, go check out Learn Pro Poker. Use, let me get that link. Let me get that link for you guys. It actually might be here. Let's see. How do we target Nightbot? How do I see the Nightbot commands? I have no idea. I have 0 mods here for the first time in the history of me running a stream. Lay it down in the moon. Oh, what do we got here versus Joey? He's a sicko. He's a sicko. We could just rip. We can definitely just rip here. I just don't see how we're folding, to be honest. Hand for hand, we're going for it, kids. Yeah. Out of my house. Man. All right, I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Fine. Love to see where it roams. There's a highway long and the road is deep and secret. Moans. I think we have a raise fold here. Kind of the same spot that we just faced versus Chong. In the night. All right, I'm gonna rip. I think the hand is just too good. I could call. This 3-bet's so small. I'm just going to peel. I think we're deep enough. Shoving's obviously best, but this event's too big to just be all flimsy with a hand like this. I could have clicked. Clicking would have been nice, but the thing is that I've just seen Pollux get a little wild with small pairs. So it's like if she has deuces through eights and I make it, 40,000, she's almost certain to just be all in. And that's a pretty shitty event when we have bottom of range like this. Yeah, no reason to start betting now. This board texture is just too unfavorable to us. I don't really think we would even be trying to protect very much out of our range, except for like no spade ace queen, maybe no spade king queen. I'm surprised to see this bet. Doesn't make a ton of sense unless it's just nutted. It's kind of the same thing for her. There isn't a lot to protect against, except like my exact hand, which doesn't often play this way. Obviously, we just have a fold. What up, Justin? How you doing, man? It's a little bit passive on my behalf. I think that being all in pre is very reasonable, but it's a little bit punty when we are 5th and 6th in chips in that spot. Playing the hand a myriad of other ways is just better. I think I could have probably limped, but I'm going to face the 3x when I do limp, and I certainly don't want to limp raise that hand. So I think keeping it simple and just opening is best. When we face a small 3 like that, we just, I think we just peel. I really do think the being all in would have been good. If I had eights, no brainer. Definitely a no brainer. Shove. Fours are just like, meh. Fours are particularly bad too because a lot of the hands that she would be quote unquote bluffing with, or at least 3-bet folding, would be like hands like ace four, like ace wheels. It'd be pretty sick if she had a hand like deuces, which I think should just probably fold to the open to begin with. Particularly in bubble play like this, you especially just want to have like hands that have strong blocking power, and you prefer to just always take the next aggressive action. That's why I kind of landed in a weird, stupid spot whenever I face the 3-bet, because it's like I have a hand whose priority is to show down, therefore it wants to be all in, but it just unblocks all value. You'd rather just be like 4-bet shoving king queen, because at least when called it has equity and it should be blocking the calling range at a pretty high frequency. King queen would actually be like the nut hand to raise 4-bet shove, I think. Here we go. These guys, man, they fight. They fight! Okay, here we go. Wow. Brian was down to 1/10 of a big blind. He's still in there. He's 26 of 31. He's just praying that me and Pollock's play an all-in pot and he somehow scoots his ass into the money. Well, the thing is that I can't fold when she makes it so small. The implied odds are just way too massive. See your face on the wrecking ball. It's a very strange flat here by Kroll. No real reason for us to start betting. I imagine he has a lot of pairs. The jack hits him somewhat. I think we can check call. We could have bet very small, but I don't think that really sheds anything. The 8's a nice card for us. Not one for us to bet, but one that we can very comfortably check call on. King becomes a card where we're a little bit more incentivized to try to get him off of a hand like 7s or 6s, but it's Kroll. He's just going to call. Because the sizing I need to choose is like half pot. I think checking is just better. I think our hand actually performs better through a check call. He will have king queen here for sure, but we also just beat ace 10. He had ace deuce suited. That is strange. That is so strange. So strange. Brian says, does Swaggy know that it's hand for hand? Bro, Swaggy B doesn't give a fuck. He's an interesting cat to play with. I've played some fun hands with him at like 5-10, 10-20. What up, L3X? How you doing, my man? Oh, Jeff said that to Brian. He said the swaggy notes hand for hand. So we don't really have a hand that could have called a bet, but we do have a hand that can start betting itself. I don't really think we need to go large here. 5,000 feels about right. Maybe we could have gone a little bit bigger just because it's not clear that we're going to be double barreling on all cards that improve us. We were looking for like a deuce, 3, or 7 exactly. I think an 8 becomes a double or a very difficult barrel card, and a 9 becomes something I can check back. Yeah, we're just going to try to improve. Pretty bad run out for us. What up, Alex Olson? How you doing, man? How's the family? Haven't seen you in a long time. To the darkness in this water. There we go. We're in the money. Congratulations, Tall Brian. You did it. You did it. Now we battle. Congrats on your cash, David. I see you in there too. Oh, I got to get in that 500. There's only 9 minutes left. Fucking Chong, man. I hate playing pre-flop wars against people who are spewy because I just lose them. I just like refuse to ever mix it up. Like I'm just always 3-bet folding. I hate money. Hi. It's like I just have the gin 3-bet candidate get max pained. All right, whatever. All right, we are in the 500. Let me get that pulled up. Not a grown man how cry on Bonham. Whoops. Only whiskey in the well, 7 circles, time will tell. Defending here off 14. Don't you cry. Easy fold. Do. 500 got big. 23,000 the first. It's nice to see. Never break. On the hills there is the mine. This table has been aggro, man. Aggro. I don't know that raise folding is going to be the strategy that gets it done for us, but or I guess like raising to steal the blinds. The music as you slowly go insane. Back to the one that matters for the time being. Man down. Park's big stack takes what I assume to be the chip lead. No, actually, he's not. Second in chips. We're going to be all in here for 30 versus... I actually think I'm going to induce. I just think it plays better this way. Puts ace queen in some spots. It looks like we have a raise fold here, or a 3-bet fold. When he rips through with small pairs, you want to die, but he's also the type of player who doesn't mind taking a gamble. He could easily just be calling off there. Alex says, Berkey, you going to play in any of the WSOP events? Yes, sir. I'll be playing them all. You know me, man. You know me. Strat here versus Pollux. I think this is a raise 4-bet shove spot. This hand just functions pretty naturally this way. She has a lot of leverage, room to make it 25,000 again and easily fold. Yeah. So this is kind of like what we expected. If this is where our dream dies, it's where it dies, but this is definitely a profitable spot to be raise 4-bet getting it in. Good luck, us. Let's hope for a fold or a hold or a win. And we triple in the 500. Let's go. Okay, no snap. Lay it down, big fella. And all the angels out your window. No shame in folding. No shame in folding. I imagine this is a hand like king, queen, 2s through 6s, 7s maybe. And then possibly worse ace X. Could be ace 10 exactly, which would be a nightmare. Hopefully that hand lays down, as I think it should. But then again, I don't think then there's a debate with like ace deuce through ace 8. So basically, if ace 10 calls, I think ace 8 can call, in which case makes it all the better for us. I don't know if she's trying to snipe, but it ain't going to happen. Whoa! What happened? Club! What was with the knit roll, Pollux? I've seen you call off with 5s. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, man. That's so frustrating. God damn it. Just getting dealt game over in that spot. 30 bigs effective. It's annoying because, like, we're top 10 in chips, but we're only 30 blinds effective, you know? So it's like, what are you supposed to do? Not take the aggressive play? Oh, man, that's so frustrating. We got 25th for $2,500. A whole fat lot of nothing. Man. I can't believe she tanked that long with ace queen. I mean, obviously, like, I should be 4-bet shoving worse. I can't just have jacks plus ace king. That's way too tight for 30 bigs in a blind versus blind scenario. I wonder if she had it the last time. She might have just had ace queen both times, to be honest. It would make a whole lot of sense with the way the board played out. That's frustrating. That is frustrating. But we got stack here. Re-entry is about to close. Oh yeah, sorry, you're right. on this stage and he's singing. Oh man, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Oh, we would have picked this one up. Yeah, I mean, the alternative would have been to limp call and then just lose a big pot on ace queen x x x. We're all in here. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm punting in those spots. It seems like a very clear raise 4-bet shove, though, against somebody who I deem to be aggressive. King! Oh, easy come, easy go. Oh my god, somehow we're back to a starting stack. How do they do it to us? God damn it. This is so aggravating, man. Now we have a fold. Singing. Singing. B Mill just running like fire right now. Wow. Look at this. Ooh, my sixes are going to come through. Nope. Nope. On this stage and he's singing. Oh, man. You just never stop feeling sad about situations like that, you know? Like, pretty confident in the play. But it doesn't matter when it fails. It literally just never matters when it fails, right? You just, you'll just second guess yourself to death. I mean, the good news is, or maybe the bad news is, I think it's good news. The ace jack, ace 10 would have folded, I imagine, if she tanked that long with ace queen. The bad news is that the weaker aces obviously definitely fold. In any event, if it takes ace queen plus there to get a call, I feel like we should be winning a lot, given our actual hand and the fact that we shouldn't run into ace queen, ace king all that frequently. Oh, we got flop dead too. That's so painful. Watch those big birds fly away. And remember, you gotta tell her that you love her. I can't believe we have a min stack now after the reentry. Ugh. They gave us the ace king. What a mistake. What a mistake. When she goes away from you. Well, at least the stream cracked the 2-hour mark today. What up, Cat? Come on. You want to get on stream? Come on. Come here, buddy. Come here. No, she'll never. Come here. The deck is frigid, my man. Man, I felt like I was playing pretty well, too. All right, I actually am going to fold here. I think Ricky's small blind call range just has us fucking smashed. We're definitely not going to get to realize our equity. No, you blew it. missed your chance to really tell her. Man, I really wish I would have ripped the fours. Even if she had better, would have called in Juan. At least then I would have been making an ICM leverage play where I put her bubble at threat. Oh, there's a 250 too. Still an hour reg left in that. So if we run semi-deep in this 500, maybe I'll hop in that as well. We'll see. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling like I could just win one of these goddamn things. Just have to... you hate to say it, but you got to get a little lucky. You got to get a little lucky. For you, my love. Heart, my wandering heart beats for you, my love. All right, we're all in if it folds to us, of course. Do we reshove over Fat Dan here? Feels hard not to. This hand's pretty good. Problem is a 0 fold equity, and I don't think he's opening Queen 10 much. I mean, he is. Who am I kidding? But I block Queen 10, Jack 10, so it's like most of his range is just gonna have us dominated. Heal your wandering heart. The punishment. Max Payne. I feel like that's a tight fold. I hate tight folds. We're born for the hunting. We'll get rewarded. We'll find an open shove spot. Ay, break. I don't need no break. All right, I'll be back in 5. This hand's no good. We gotta get lucky. Innocence is gone. It's a song about life. Try to look good, but something's always smoking under the hood. And sometimes you wanna close. Are we gonna get something better in the next two hands? I don't think so. It's unlikely. I lost my faith in man. Yay! Man, that's nice to get through. That's why we fold the queen jack. We pick up a hand-ish. We pick up a better spot, let's put it that way. I'll go down with the ship tonight. Well, I ain't much good at sweeping girls off their feet or the morning after. Love is a well-placed disaster. Oh, let me think. Mexico singing songs about life. Ooh, I think I'm gonna pass here. And it's close with the stack distributions, but I think I'm gonna pass. Faith in love. With the ship tonight. With the ship, whoa, 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 every night. All right, let's win the second chance. I'll take 25K. That wouldn't be a bad thing at all. Wow, really glad we passed on the King 9 rip. Flop the old double gutter, turns us dead. Okay. This is we got a walk? Wow. What are my favorite pizza toppings? Cheese, particularly Parmesan. That's it. I don't like toppings. It ain't for me, man. I think we have a rip if it folds to us. Pretty confident in that one. I don't think Dan's going to let it fold to us, though, to be honest. Oh, he did. Yay. Good luck, us. Let's get a fold. Lay it down, big fella. Lay it down. Let's go. Let's go. Why does he keep putting pizzas in the chat? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, man. I don't know what that means. I'll go down. Hey, cat. Chauncey. This guy just hangs out on my desk. Getting hair everywhere. All right. We let her go. It's nice that it's folding to us once in a while. I didn't think that that was actually going to happen with Dan having so many chips. Is it sick that, like, I'm still sweating the 1K on the side? Like, I'm just so sad. They're already down to 17. Huh. My man Penny busted 21st. Good luck, us guys. Good luck. Let's go. I don't know why he keeps putting pizzas in the chat, man. I just don't get it. Go ahead. Call it off, man. If you thought this long, I want to call. Where'd you go, Danny? How many people are left in the tournament? A lot. Not a lot. 48. 48 players are left. How many get paid? 20 players get paid. So we're going to get to play a little bubble here soon. While just looking at who's left in the 1K. It's actually not a lot of people I know. Parks Big Stack is left. He's 11th in chips. Joey Chong is 7th in chips. And then Sega Knight's 4th, who I recognize, and Polix is 2nd. That's not super reg heavy for such a big first place. All right, good luck, us. I will take a fold here. Somebody wants to call with 5. That's fine by me. All right, big fold. What's going on here? Boom. It's too good to be true. This 500 got big. 90,000 in the prize pool. It's pretty nice. 200 players. After re-entry, there was about 50 remaining, which is pretty nice. 44 left now, 20 pay. We got work to do. We're short. To be true. Do 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 do. Father is planning a new world war. Oh, Gordon Veo is actually still in the 1K. Oh, no, never mind. That's this. That's this event. Oh, wow. Pollux is third in chips in this as well. She's having a hell of a night. Hell of a night. There's a lot of crossover, I guess, in these big binds. Fields tend to be pretty small. WSOP is one of those sites where you can definitely win like 2 majors in the same night. I have not gone to any casinos, but yeah, I do live here in Vegas. It's just not that enticing to me. I mean, games would have to be pretty big, pretty good. And online has just been pretty killer action, so no rush. I'm just going to wait it all out like everybody else. Watching. So Yol only has 4 blinds here. I still don't think our hand is good enough to reshove. 4 blinds just means too much to us when we only have 11. Oh, man. These events go late. I mean, it's fine when you're on the West Coast, but I can't imagine being a Jersey grinder. We did have the best hand, but we would have got snapped by B Mill. Snapped, I tell you, snapped. Which would have been tragic. Good luck, us. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Feels weird to wish yourself good luck, but I feel like I need it. I just need to put it out there, reinforce it, you know? All right. It wants you back. too bad. I got a text on break that said Pollux was slow rolling me, which could very well be the case. If so, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous game to play with Ace Queen. But honestly, it's pretty smart to do it with Ace Queen because it's right on the cusp where if you get shown Ace King, you could be like, ah, I knew it, and like just chalk it up to a nit roll. But like when you get shown Ace 9, you just kind of like chuckle to yourself and be like, I slow rolled the fuck out of him. In any event, it kind of loses its luster because it's Ace Queen, so like I don't know if it was a slow roll or not. King Snake, the highway signs, it's a long, lonely road. No, there's no windshield, cracks in the grass, it's a long, lonely road. What do I think about the Postle case getting dismissed? It sounds like it was inevitable. It sounds like the way the law is written in California, it was going to be very difficult to get it prosecuted. But from my understanding of everything, they still have a path forward. It just, it's not a super fruitful one. I know they are still suing Stones. I don't know what it translates into. I don't know if it's like large monetary value or if it's more so just to prove a point and just let them know that we won't stand for cheating. In any event, what I think is tragic is that these live stream games in California particularly aren't going to be policed and instead are kind of ripe for the picking. So I'll be incredibly hesitant to play Live at the Bike. Not because I think they have a bad product or anybody's sketchy there, but it's just way, way, way too vulnerable, man. I know the system that they're running, I know it well, and I just know that there are a lot of ways to get the best of it. But yeah, I mean, it's sad. It always sucks to see a cheater get away with it, but in the court of public opinion, I think Postle was proven guilty. I think more information will come out as we scrape the data, as we see what his hands, his win rate and things like that all turn into. Okay. Let's go. We'll take a call here with the Queeners. Let's go, baby. We needed that overlay. Put a heart up there. Put a heart up there. Okay. I think we broke even. Or did we win the 35K pot? Nope. Yeah, we broke even. Fuck. I mean, it's good. We ran into kings. It's nice that we got called, I guess. Oh, 7 big blind shove under the gun. Hey, this is dicey. This is dicey. But he did just call off with King Jack suited. Never mind. I think I would have had to reshove here. Donkey Puncher says, what up, Berkey? The Indy casinos have opened up in Sacramento. They have plastic partitions in between each player playing 9-handed. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. That's fucking crazy. Gotta fold to the shove. Hey, Burke, when you were playing college ball, would you ever have slumber parties with your teammates and fool around with each other? No, we did that with the softball and the volleyball team. The lacrosse team, too, actually, come to think of it. Athletes stuck together. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ship it. Ship it to us. B Mills is running right. Oh, my God. Chauncey got a plastic fork. Good luck, us. 9 big blinds, never folding. All right, Dan, give us that double. Oh, my God. I don't think we can fold. I really don't think we can fold. 35 left. We're still 15 out of the money. 8s are just too high up, man. I think we can fold 7s. I think 9s are like a snap. Yeah, I mean, there's just too much money out there, right? It's 17 to win 29. This is just too good of a price. Since you were gone. What up, Funk Master? How you doing, man? All right, let's go. Ah, come on, man. No reward. Okay. That's GG for us. I think I'm going to bag it. I don't really see any reason to fire this last event. I'm just not really feeling it. Okay. Well, we gave it our all, guys. Not a lot we can say about that. Ace-9 spot, very unfortunate. I'm really confident in it, though, if that matters, which I guess it doesn't. But, you know, if she has a reasonable 3-bet range that's like, say, 15%, which is actually probably slightly on the tight side given our depth and the fact that it's blind versus blind, I have to be doing pretty well through a shove there. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm happy to be proven wrong. I'm happy to second guess it. I'll take a look at it, see what the final verdict is. In any event, I'm going to call it for the evening. I appreciate you all joining me. I'm off tomorrow for homeschool and the vlogcast, so if you get the chance, please tune in at noon Pacific. We'll be going live. D Moon is going to be joining us towards the tail end as our guest. And otherwise, I'll be back on stream on Thursday. So we will see you guys all then.